Alrighty. Today is Tuesday, the 14th of January, and today I'm gonna talk about the market trading and my positions or my trades today. Oops, sorry. So first off, looking at the market, this is a closed higher. Uh, oh, I'm sorry, closed higher than yesterday, which is kind of good. S- and good news is that it did bounce. Sorry, it undercut this 50-day, sorry, 100-day moving average, and closed above it. So that's pretty good news for now. We'll see what the upcoming days and weeks have for us. So that's great news. One trade I think today that I messed up pretty bad, and not that bad, but I missed the opportunity was Tesla. I did short it in the morning. Here's the screenshot. Let me look for the screenshot. Here's a screenshot when I shorted it and why I didn't short it again. So, if you can see, I shorted it in the morning. My price I shorted it at was around 415.48. So I saw it bouncing around here early in the morning and it looked like it was getting weak, so I shorted it. And I saw it come flush. I saw it flush down and I was like, okay, can this hold? Can this hold? And I think it went to like 412. I think that the low of that candle is 412. Yeah, roughly 412. So it's okay if this can, just proceed to fall, it would be good. So I see it, crack down like just below the low of the days, and I was like, okay, if it's can, follow through and just keep heading down, I'll be good. Um, and then I saw it kind of bouncing, like holding, and I was like, okay, let me take half of it off. So I covered half, um, and then I had a stop order at like 4:30, like for break even, and then it kind of it disappeared on me. I was like, where'd it go? I was like, oh no. And then I it didn't get filled, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So then I try to set out another order, and I have my stop thing. I have my I guess my order or whatever on stop. So then like another window pops up, and I have to fill it out. And I'm like, oh god, I know, oh my gosh. And then that one didn't show up. So I was like, okay, so I had to change it to limit. So by that time, I wasn't out till um, at 4:17. I was like, that was way more than I wanted it. I wanted it just to be like break even because I saw it was kind of strong. And then I looked at it on the daily chart, and I was like, oh, okay. I was shorting it right here. Oh, around here on 4:15, right here, right at the open, kind of. And I was like, oh, this thing goes to 20 day, which is like 422, 423. I should short like go all in short, you know? I was like, okay, okay. Let me just wait. And then I looked and I was like, I was already down like I was down only like 100 and something dollars, right? Ended up losing 140 today. But yesterday I had a really big win and it gave me a lot of confidence, but it also in turn I also know that having too much confidence will hurt you as well. So I see it. Let me show you the picture again. So I see it come up to 422. Like what was the high of that candle right there? The high was 422.64 on this one here. And I was like, man, this is the risk reward I have here, right? I can risk 423 and a half, risk $1. I can maybe get in 300 shares on this thing, maybe 400 shares. I don't know if my account can handle that. I don't know if my account will limit me on that, but I was like, man, I can really risking 1% of my account. I can get like about 400 shares, or maybe a little less than 400. If I'm risking 1% of my account on this opportunity, right? And I'm just sitting there, and I see it come up to this moving average, and I'm like, man, this is it right now. Like, this, if you want to do it, do it. And I was like, nah, I don't want to. What if it like blows through the moving average and I lose, way more? And that false confidence that I got from yesterday was, didn't work. And I was like, I don't know. So I didn't end up taking it, which obviously would have been a great, great trade. Um, let's say I got, 200, 300 shares on this. Should have been phenomenal risk to reward, right? I would have been risking $1.50, or maybe a dollar actually, because it's 4.60. Yes, yeah, around $1 to $1.50, depending on where I got in. Because I'm not, I don't think I could have picked the top, even though I did. I was like, I told myself short. It's like short now if you want to short. The risk reward here, you got the spike that you now notice that you see, and I was like, I don't want to. I see it fall, see it collapse, not collapse, but I see it go under the under VWAP, and I was like, oh, if this comes come this, oh, sorry, excuse me, if this can come back, I can short this. Like the thing about Tesla, shorting it intraday in the past, I've noticed that it kind of goes slightly above VWAP, and then will come down. So I was like, okay, let this get above VWAP just slightly. And I'm also looking at the SPY, right? I'm looking and see if that market's weak in the Nasdaq, see if those things are weak, because they kind of correlate with to this right now. So I was like, yeah, I could short it again too here. Nah, whatever. So I didn't take that trade. And then later I go off, whatever. I come back and I see it right here at this VWAP, right? I just rejecting it. It rejected it about 4 times, right? One, two, 4, 5, 6. I guess whatever. Four. Let's just say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, and I'm like, wow, this is another opportunity I can take. But I also don't like late day shorting. That's just I don't know if I've ever really done it, and if I have, it was like on a probably an illiquid stock that was down on the day already. So my history with late day shorts in general have been pretty bad. But on a stock like this, Tesla, that's very liquid, one of the big stocks in the market, I was thinking, well, I could get this short and get into like, this Power Hour. I've never really traded Power Hour. I don't really know the statistics behind it. Um, Not only the statistics, but the way he reacts and what happens in Power Hour. I don't really stay long enough on the short side to experience Power Hour. So I was like, this is kind of leading into Power Hour, and it kind of lines up, but whatever. Didn't take it again, so I really missed 1, 2, 3 opportunities to get short with great risk to rewards. So this is, I think, an F on execution. This was my only trade of the day that I planned to trade was short Tesla, um, and I really fumbled it pretty badly. Um, yeah, so that's also. I mean, yeah. So anyways, this is a pretty big fumble. I think I really screwed this one up. Now, hindsight's 2020, right? This could have gone straight up, and I'd be like, okay, good. I cut my loss here, and I got out in time. But this market right now, it's very weak, right? It's very not made for breakouts, not made for big moves on the upside, unless they're mean reversion bounces like we had today with Rigetti and the whole quantum sector. But those are not really real companies, right? Tesla's a real company. Um, and I mean, look, same thing here this day. It rejected off the 20-day moving average. So basically, in my mind, I'm used to like longing the breakouts here, right? I'm basically kind of reversing it. So right now, this is like here, for example, kind of surfing the no, yeah, kind of surfing the 10-day, but right here it's rejecting the 20 days, so it's kind of like inverse. So now it's still in a range. It is still in the range, so maybe like a couple weeks, maybe it'll start to break down. Um, but I think there was like a good opportunity missed today. 6%. That's huge. Um, for a stock like this, in my opinion, it's a pretty big move. Pretty big move. But it's alright. Whatever. You live to see another day. So the execution on this was like a F. Trading um, wasn't the best. I'd give it also probably like a D or F. Looking back on this, um, now to be fair, my plan wasn't to let it get to the 20-day moving average. It was during this spike here when I got out, when I saw it spike up to 422, 420, 420. I was like, ooh. And then I started to notice, I was like, oh, the moving average is right here. And then it all kind of like in the moment, I was like, oh, it's the short. The shorting is now. Like this is the short to do it now. So it wasn't like pre-planned. I'm not gonna lie, sit here and lie. It wasn't pre-planned. It was a pre-plan to short this thing. But when, where, wasn't at the 20-day moving average. It was more when I got stopped out and I saw it going up a couple minutes later, and I noticed I was like, oh, it's at the 20-day moving average. This is a good spot to short. And so my plan was never to short it at the 20-day moving average, 20-day moving average. So to be fair, that's also or another reason why I didn't short it, because that wasn't my plan in the morning. So discipline wise, maybe an A plus, probably an A plus, I believe. Um, it wasn't my plan, so I'm trying to work on my discipline, because that is what I find before has lost me a lot of money in the long run. Checking, trading, making plays that you don't pre-plan before, and that wasn't part of the process, wasn't part of the plan. So I knew to short this thing. Where and when? I wanted it to be weak in the morning and to flush pretty quickly. I wanted it to, saw it gapped up over the 10-day moving average, and the market kind of, I think, market gapped up slightly too. But I really thought it was going to be weak in the morning. Um, I really thought it was going to sell off more. Well, it did sell off, but it then eventually recovered. But I was looking for it to, same thing, Tesla, just completely go like straight down in the morning. That's what I really wanted it to happen. So when I saw the weakness in the morning, kind of, I was like seeing it bounce around 415, 417, going back down to 413. I was like, okay, let me get in when it comes back up to like 415, 416, and risk 417. And then I saw it drop, and I was like, okay, well, this might be it. Whatever. It's a story. It's a story of how I shorted it in the morning. But my plan was to never short it to the 20-day moving average, because I didn't notice it at the time. Hindsight's 2020, so I should have. But it is what it is. Oh well. Anyways, I also did touch HSAI today. Tiny, 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 tiny size. Only like 150 shares in the morning, because I bought it pretty late. I bought it at like 15.56. It's like right here ish. It's like right around there. And I didn't even use low of day. I used like under VWAP for the stop. Actually, I saw it spike up. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you. Actually, I gotta show you the 5. Let me just take a screenshot of it. Sorry. I'll take it on my DOS. So, okay. So, here's a screenshot of it. So in the morning, as you see, I entered here at 15.56, and I was like, well, we'll see how it does. I was risking like below VWAP, like down here. I saw it push up, and I was like, okay, this is good. It's looking great. But the reason why I also did really, really small size was because of the market we're in. I've done this before in the past, where it's near the end of like a bull market, kind of like, well, little bull market we just had. The market starts selling off. There's setups still there, but they try to break out and they fail. And I've noticed that because I've failed and I've lost a lot of money doing that. So today I took a very, very small size, and I also was risking not really a level that I should if I really was wanting to buy a breakout. So I saw this push up into the 15.7s, and I saw it get really weak, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. I did not like this at all. So I sold half, like almost for break even here, and then I sold a little bit down here. I think how much did I lose on this thing? Let me see how much I lost. Excuse me, sorry. I lost $40. $40 on this thing. So I tell you, it was like extremely, extremely small size with extremely tight risk. It was nothing like and like I would actually trade. That was like a that was 10% of what my actual loss, 10% of what my actual risk should have been, based on 1% of my account. So $40 is like nothing. So I wanted to keep it real light today, due to the fact of how well I performed yesterday. Yesterday, I read a lot of tweets and listened to a lot of videos and podcasts and things about traders. When they start getting too overly confident in their trading, that's when they take the biggest losses. So I took a pretty big win yesterday for me, in terms of my trading. Maybe not you, or maybe myself later on in my life when I'm rewatching back this video, if I ever rewatch it back. But for right now, compared to what I'm usually trading, that was a pretty big size. Not pretty big size, pretty big trade for me yesterday in terms of the profit, the realized gain. So I didn't want that confidence to roll over, even though it should have. But it's all hindsight now. But I didn't want it to get too overly confident and think I'm like, oh, I'm a genius right now. Like I can really, I'm the best, right? I don't want to get into that mindset to like, pollute my mind and to make irrational decisions. So, that's why I didn't re-short Tesla. Also, it wasn't part of the game plan, and that's why I also went really, really short on this thing. Also, it's not really for the market right now. This is not the market for it right now. The SPY is pretty weak. It's not looking good. This is not even the time to buy breakouts. You gotta wait for this 10 to like get above this 20. So once it starts to turn around, we might see some breakouts happen. We might see some breakouts happen before. Well, we're gonna see some breakouts, but if they hold, then it could signal the bottom. The leaders might take off before the rest of the market, as it usually happens. So we'll see. But yeah, that's the only thing I have today. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna. If there's any opportunities, to be honest with you, I don't think there is any. Depends. And also tomorrow I think is it PPI comes out tomorrow or CPI, something like that. So I wouldn't want to touch anything anyways. Um, yeah, don't think I'll have anything to trade tomorrow. So, um, nothing for me to really do tomorrow unless I can short. I think maybe short these quantum names again. This is to me it's a dead cat bounce. Kind of like this one was yesterday, how it gapped up. What did the stock gapped up like 20%, 25% yesterday, which is when I shorted it. So these ones today, Rigetti, we can see if they gap up again. Maybe gap up to this 20-day and then short it. Or they might just gap down tomorrow and get weak again. So that will probably be on my watch list tomorrow. That, and I think oil. These oil names have been popping up on my radar. I kind of said this a couple days ago, but I don't know when the right time is. Oh, also DJT and P-Hun. Oops, P-Hun. What? What? No. Excuse me. Kind of setting up. Kind of a long shot, to be honest with you. Depends on what DJT is doing, but other than that, I think that's the only thing I'm looking at tomorrow. I mean, not a good setup. Nothing there. Yeah, that's about it. But all right, see you guys.